Hour of 11, and of course, it's officially time for the Civic Matters right here on radio. Now, this is the latest addition to the Midday Extra Show. This is in, should I say, a corporate social responsibility, because it's responsible enough for us to participate in the political activities of the country. It's not enough to sit back and complain, like I said last week. It's not enough to say this person is not doing the right thing, that person is not doing the right thing. What can I do to contribute to seeing the right thing? This is your responsibility right here. And today on the show, I am not alone in the studio. I have got Daisy Omokungbe. Did I get that correct? And yes, he is the founder and executive director of ProMad, an experienced social innovator, accountability professional, and project management consultant with over 12 years of work experience in the private and development sector. Welcome, Mr. Daisy.
A pleasure to be here. Good morning, Abuja.
Yes, good morning to you. Now, on this episode of Civic Matters, we will be looking at unraveling the idea of civic participation and the contribution of citizens in nation building. So let's hear you, Mr. Daisy. Let's talk about today's topic.
Okay. So, like I said, good morning. I'm happy to be here to be talking about governance, civic participation, nation building. And as you know, if any nation wants to develop, it's really around civic participation, nation building, as well as governance. And for the development to actually be achieved and sustainable, we have to make sure that governance is actually participatory and effective to be able to deliver the yearnings of the citizens, as well as various communities that have one needs or the other, which is to be met by the government. And that is essence of governance and the government.
All right. So now when we talk about nation building, a lot of people might not understand this term. So just so that we can have people participate in the conversation as much as possible, what is nation building?
So nation building, I will just simple way, let me say it's a joint effort that is being put together by different stakeholders in a particular country to ensure that that country achieve sustainable development.
All right.
Use sustainable development, not just development, but sustainable development.
Sustainable development.
If you want to underline the keywords, you have stakeholders,
yes.
You have joint efforts, and then you have sustainable development. So this is what civic participation and nation building is all about.
All right. So now, who is responsible for nation building? Because when we started the show, I said it's not enough to complain. So if we know who exactly is responsible for nation building, we would not put all of the responsibilities on one person, or will not leave all of the duties to one person. So who is responsible for nation building?
Okay. So nation building, like I said, is a joint effort that different stakeholders come together to actually execute. That nation building is achieved.
Okay.
And this is because, is it going on?
Yeah.
This is because that governance is not all about a single man that is elected into the office, or a single man or woman who is also appointed to one office or the other. But it's about array of different stakeholders from community level to that highest level in government. So it's an effort that we must come together to put together and ensure that we do certain things that ensure that each level of stakeholder, each level of community, and the citizens enjoy the dividends of democracy. And that is why the concept of democracy also comes into nation building. And simply, we just have the simplest definition of democracy that talks about is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Okay.
So when we now look at those elements together and bringing them together to make the joint effort that I talked about earlier,
Okay.
so we'll be able to drive towards achieving sustainable development through effective governance and the nation building effort. So these are the areas on how different stakeholders can come together to ensure that we have effective strategies to build our nation. And in this case, it's Nigeria.
Nigeria. Now, talking about nation building, I know again, like I said earlier, is the responsibility of every single person. But now, if the people don't understand that it is their responsibility to build the nation, what part do you think the government can play in enlightening the people about this responsibility?
Okay, so in this part of the world, there is a gap of what the citizens are supposed to know and what they don't know.
Thank you.
About democracy, about nation building, and about governance. And that is why Proma that is designed this program with the support of our partner, the Nigeria Youth Future Fund, to ensure that we talk about these issues, to enlighten the people, to give them that knowledge that they require for them to know what to do exactly in the process of governance to bring development to their communities. And some of these things are not things that are hard to do. For instance, I think the only one that we seem to participate is the election process. During election, you see all kinds of people talking about issues, even though some of these issues are even out of context. What is supposed to be talking about is not what they are talking about. For instance, let me make a clear example. You have some issues in your community that you're supposed to come together, form a community front, and then be able to lay out this issue. Then invite the candidates or aspirants that are contesting, lay these issues, and then see how you can form a consensus at that level and get the candidates to commit to those things. That when he gets to power, these are the things that I will attend to. But in the other way around, which we're supposed not to see, but we are seeing, is that candidates will begin to talk about community and stakeholders will begin to talk about he's not from this thing, he's an Igbo, he's a Yoruba, he's a Hausa. All of these things have not translate to development since 1960. So it is time we do away with all sorts of discussions and go to the narrative that will help our communities and help us to become more productive and be able to develop the economy. Because if the economy is not good, then the democracy has not delivered, the governance process has not delivered, and at the end of the day, citizens will be at the receiving point, which we are seeing
right now.
Part of it today.
So yes, basically he's talking about we're placing the cart before the horse. You know, before you elect these people, have a conversation with them, even first, because you're saying now that it's not just about the election process. Before, during, and after the election, you as citizens have a responsibility to hold these people accountable. Now, in the FCT, I remember one time where a debate was organized, and the purpose of this debate is to have these people meet one-on-one with the people that they'll be leading in the FCT. It was for the local government elections for the FCT. Now, we have invited people, some of these people who happen to want to contest for this election. How do you get them to even be present? Because that's one thing. You invite all of these people, and now they don't want to be present at this debate, or they don't want to be present at this stakeholders meeting, which will lead to the development of the state and of the people. How can you get them, make them accountable enough to be present in such meetings?
Okay, if we started the right thing at the right time, we will surely get them to conform to some of these things. Most times, especially at the local government level, at the state level, there is no way, if you put the right structure in place, ensure that you have the presence of the key stakeholders in that room, there is no way a political candidate or a party candidate
will not be present.
So sometimes when they look at the nature of the arrangement, they say,
it's just hungry people.
If I don't attend this, nothing will happen. And at the end of the day, they won't show up. But if the community does actually look at who are the stakeholders in this community and what are the issues that we have, can we come together, forget about religion, forget about tribal issues and ethnic issues? Let's come together. What are the issues facing us? Let's itemize them and let's form a common front and bring these people into the community and let us discuss. Surely they will come.
Okay.
But if you have not done that and they look at the list of who is inviting them and they saw these people, no, I will not go
They
there.
know- they don't-
At the end of the day, they won't come. So those are the issues that we have with community organizing and arrangement. So let's do away with petty issues that have no issues with issues of governance. Or issues have not brought about development in the last 60 years. So let's do away with all those ones and bring on the real issues to the table, and then get people that are supposed to be invited to come and attend some of these meetings where we talk about the real issues and place them, and then look at how we take them even beyond the elections.
All right.
Engagement before elections or during elections is another thing. Then engagement after the election, that's why we now have a particular person in the office. Then continuous engagement needs to also come on board, not just for the election, and after election you are not shouting for the next 4 years. No.
All right.
Have meetings, write letters, hold town hall meetings that we get these people to come and attend to those issues in your communities.
All right, there you have it, people. I have been hanging out with Mr. Daisy Omokungbe, and he's the founder and executive director of ProMad, an experienced social innovator, accountability professional. And when you hear how passionate he is talking about this, you know he's all about accountability. And at a time where we are, accountability is very important, because this morning we were saying people have moved from the point where they just want to play and where they just want to know about entertainment alone. People are now much more interested in political affairs of the state. So yes, accountability is important, and we have an expert luckily right here in the studio. They are ProMad Foundation, and they have taken out time to bring this program to educate us on the need to participate. Now we'll be opening up the phone lines right about now so that we'd hear what your contributions are as regards this conversation, because again, he has said it's not about engaging these people before the election or during the election. After the election as well, it's your responsibility to engage these people. But again, if everybody is relaxed and everybody feels lax about it, nobody's taking the initiative to hold these people accountable. You cannot now say that they are irresponsible. You cannot say that they are unaccountable, because you have not requested accountability from them. So let's hear you on 090-7353-0044 or 090-8766-8888. You can also leave us a message on WhatsApp letting us know what your thoughts and what your contributions will be as regards the conversation we're having here today on 090-9705-4450. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning, Madam Speaker. Olajide from Wuse.
All right, Olajide, it's good to have you join us in the studio. Please talk to us.
Thank you. I greet our guest in the studio. He has spoken very well. Good morning, brother. Madam Speaker, do you know why we are getting it wrong?
Well, with you, Olajide, tell us.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
99% of Nigerians are passive politicians. They are not active politicians. And that is why the ruling classes or the ruling class will continue to take that advantage. Holding political stakeholders, holding them accountable is not even the issue. Who chose them in the first instance? How did they got emerged as a candidate? That is why we are having it wrong. I've been saying it. We have to participate in electioneering, in politics. Many of us in Abuja, we don't even know where we fall into politically. My unit, my ward, we don't even know. Only what we are waiting for is election day. I'm voting for Madam Speaker Matter. How does Madam Speaker Matter emerge? We are the one to vote our candidate right from the grassroots. During the politicking, each party has secretariat. Each political party has what? Each political party has units. Which of all these units do we belong to? When they want to vote for candidates at grassroots level, do we participate in it? How does President Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerge as APC candidate? How does he emerge? We don't even know. How does Peter Obi emerge? We don't even know. We just discovered that Labour Party has presented him. How do they go to that stage of presenting them as our candidate? That's why we fail. We have to be at this job. That is where they are being selected. Until we select those we want, if not, we continue to merry-go-round. Election has come and gone. We are waiting for 2027. But do you know, nobody will do anything until the election remain 1 week. They will not be looking for candidates that go to elect from each party. But the party is something we have to be part of it. There are party meetings. There are party activities. Do we participate in it? Do we? And once we don't participate in party activities, there is no way we can create the change we want to create. It is when we participate in party politics, we will be able to know or come together that no, in our world, it is Madam Matter we chose. In our unit, it is Mr. Lajide we choose that is going to represent us. That is the way we can get out of quagmire we find ourselves.
All right.
If we don't participate in party politics, we will remain where we are.
All right.
God bless Madam Matter Speaker.
God bless you, Olajide. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. A lot has been said about this, and it's the same thing Mr. Dacey and myself have been talking about all morning. The need to ask questions. If you don't ask questions, you cannot demand answers for questions that you haven't asked in the first place. Do you have anything to say about Mr. Olajide's comments?
Yes, I agree with some of the things he has said.
Okay.
Because that's even why we are advocating civic participation in the first place.
Of course.
And then, but I would say that is not enough. Participating only when the candidate are to be selected or elected at the party level, that is not enough. When the election has been held and a candidate and a winner has emerged, and we now have a governor or a House of Assembly member, a local government chairman, a president, how do we move forward in ensuring that the development that we expect in our respective communities come to us? So that is the level where we also need to focus on governance, no longer politics. But even you find out that some of the people that are participating at the political party level, even when the governor or the president or the lawmaker or the local government chairman is doing something wrong, they will still be telling you it's right, because they are part and parcel of that political party. At the end of the day, they jeopardize the aspect of governance and delivery of projects that impact the life of the people. So participating at the political level is one thing, and then focusing on governance after the election is also one thing. And because the end goal that we want to see in politics, in governance issue, is to ensure that the government delivers to the people.
All right, that's the most important thing. The government delivers to the people. But never forget your responsibility in the whole of this process. Your responsibility is to ask the question where and when necessary. Because a lot of us, we deal with consequence rather than dealing with when a problem starts. We would rather deal with the problem than try to address it from the start.
The root.
From the root, before it becomes a problem, address it. Because in the first place, if you ask about these people, okay, such a person is vying for this position, what is your political orientation? Where are you coming from? What can you give to the masses? If you ask this question, some people will not even imagine in the first place. But we don't go as far as asking those questions. And like Olajide said, these people are just shown to you as the candidates from these political parties, where you have little or nothing to contribute about that situation. But again, we're looking at a Nigeria where we can contribute actively to the process of leadership and political activities right here. So yes, we have a few more minutes so that you can send in your questions, or you can be a part of the conversation by calling us up on 090-9705-4450 or 090-8766-8888. Do not forget that you can leave us a message on WhatsApp or to let us know what your thoughts are on 090-9705-4450. Now, lastly, Mr. Dacey, let's ask, what are the available strategies to increase participation in nation building in area councils in the FCT?
Okay, so strategies, we have almost all the non-profit organizations, non-governmental organizations that have their headquarters in Abuja. And yes, all of them work around some of these communities, putting structure in place, for instance, for budget participation, putting structure in place for project tracking, putting structure in place for issues around gender violence, and then there are issues around accountability, transparency, that ensure that communities are part and parcels of these issues, to bring the issues to the attention of people in government, and to be able to expect that we get results. So the strategy is that join any of these non-profit organizations, even in your local government. Look at the strategies and the committees that local government has around citizen engagement, citizens participation, and join one, and then become active by looking at the issues in your community and bringing them up. And then we have the technology aspect of it. Now we have artificial intelligence, and maybe that will be a topic in the future, where you can channel issues of development in your community, and the whole world will know about it. And then it will even come to the attention of that local government chairman in your area. So all of these issues have to be attended to by we becoming active citizens, looking at opportunities around on how we can actually uphold good governance in our community.
All right, people, thank you so much for joining us and being a part of the Civic Matters. Now, you remember last week we said trivias will be posted on ProMat's official social media pages. So just the questions will be asked. Just go to the page, look for the questions, and then answer them. The winners will be giving out gifts. Now we have 3 winners here, and I'm hoping they're from here, because if you are not from here, if you cannot call the name of the presenters here, I'll tell them not to give you. But yes, we have she -is Larash, that's on Twitter at Queen Baby Last, and then we have Solomon Fidelix on Twitter at Fidelix Gere, and then we have Kata M Mamza Auta on Facebook. Also, you guys are the winners of last week's quiz. There will be another one today. It will be uploaded on ProMat's page today, and we will announce the winners also this on this same segment next week, the Civic Matters. Now, let me call out ProMat's social media handles. You can follow them at ProMat on X and ProMat Foundation on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Now you can follow the Civic Matters on X and the Civic Matters on Facebook. All of these handles will be tagged on Eagles FM social media page on Instagram, so that you can just with a click connect with ProMat and also answer the trivias and the question they have for you, so that you can also participate and win the prizes that are available. And you would agree with me that it's always an amazing time hanging out here with our guys from ProMat Foundation. Today we have the executive director, and who happens to be Mr. Daisy, who is the founder and executive director of ProMat. Thank you so much for being here with us. It's such an honor to have you on radio.
It's my pleasure to be here.
All right.
I want to come on.
You come off. Yes, now we need your money too, don't you? Anyways, thank you guys so much. See you again next week, Tuesday at 11 a.m. for Civic Matters. Do not go anywhere. It's Martha right here on the Midday Extra Show, and I definitely will be right back.
We play those songs.
The good tunes just don't stop.
The good tunes just don't stop.
Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja.
Playing the best music from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. This is
102.
Through our research and policy memos, we have identified the challenges facing youth civic participation. Now, it's time to equip you with the tools you need to engage with government agencies and elected leaders effectively. Are you tired of feeling sidelined in the governance process? Do you want to make a difference in your community? Don't let your voice go unheard. Tune in to Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja, every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on the Civic Matters and be part of the movement for a more inclusive, accountable, and transparent government. Our mission is clear: to bridge the gap between citizens and government, ensuring that public resources are located to address your priorities. The Civic Matters is sponsored by ProMed Foundation with the support of the Nigerian Youth Futures Fund, NYFF.